Brought to you by the Odd Pod Squad. Comedy, music, reviews, news, history, current affairs, and much more. See more from the home of all your odd podcasters on Twitter at Odd Pod Squad.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm Gaz, your host, and joined in the studio, as always. They tried to suppress him, but they can't stop the Tech Taylor.
Oh, they can't. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, thank you very much.
Well, the ladies and gentlemen are loving a bit of you today. Hey, so again, welcome to the show. You're listening to Never a Straight Answer. And how's it going, Mr. T?
Yeah, not too bad. Birthday week.
Yay, it's been his birthday this week. How old are you now? 106, 21, 2, 15, what?
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to divulge his age. He doesn't have to. Do you know what? You should never ask a lady your age.
Cheeky bitch.
Yeah. You bitch.
You little slag.
Oh, well. Bants. You know what? We was like, you little slag, you little bitch, you little hoe.
Yeah, you little hoe. You little hoe.
You fucking sissy boy. Fuck you. Yeah, well, getting on. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Did you get anything nice? What did you get up to?
Me and Silent J went shooting.
Oh, you did, didn't you? I had to work. I couldn't go.
Yeah. It's a shame, man. But you're coming on the next one, aren't you?
I'll come on the next one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, like I say, it was just one of them. It was like it was a busy day and I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
And it was, it was a bit shame that I couldn't make it. But I thought I was there in spirit.
You were.
And I hope you all had a good time.
We were thinking at you when we were looking at the targets.
When you were looking at the targets. Yeah, it was like, there's Gaz. Let's shoot him. Do you know what? It's generally we go on these sort of outings, and I'm the one who does get hurt or caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. So I mean,
well, you're up to because your birthday's coming up this week, isn't it?
Birthday's next week.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm not going to say, yeah.
Yeah, you should never ask a lady
no, it's funny.
should you?
No, yeah, bumped. Hey, he's like, do you know what? It's funny, though, because, like, a couple of people have said, since we've been doing the podcast, that they thought we sounded younger than we are.
Yeah,
and when I mentioned, to people how old I am and how old, we are, they were very surprised. Even Mr. Shirley Crabtree...
Yes, I remember.
Thought that we were a bit younger than we were, and then it got me thinking: is that because we sound like absolute idiots? Is that what it is?
Isn't it? That's what it is.
It's a couple of know nothings.
Yeah. We've got the dickhead bug.
I'm sure it's not that. I'm sure. I hope. Well, we've got an interesting show tonight. Anyway, we've got quite a. I mean, something we've been talking about doing for quite a while now.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, since we started doing the podcast, we said that it was an episode on the cards at some point.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because it's quite. It could have been a lot of this could have been really revolutionary in terms of in terms of right. Well, basically, the topic tonight is technology that has been suppressed.
Yeah.
Right. So whether it have been kind of hidden away for reasons that, there was a rival company, or
there's quite a few where they've been brought in, taken away, and then eventually after time it's been brought out.
Yeah, it's been brought back, but that's only because the attitudes have changed, or the thing that was in the way in the first place or first instance has gone. So I think there's a lot of different products that you wouldn't think where they've been not only suppressed but kind of reverse engineered to be weaker over for a long period. So these products out there that were when they were first invented, they were practically indestructible, but that's not profitable, so they have to kind of make them disposable, if you like. Yeah.
Well, in the last 5 years, universities have got courses now for this.
What, in making things disposable?
Yeah. I was surprised when I heard it. It was like, you know what I mean? It's like, right, how do we fuck people over and get money for it?
Yeah, well, it's crazy.
Basically, that's what it is.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's but they argue that it's making it profitable, exactly. And it's like, how am I expected to sell the next model?
Yeah.
Or the next, the next
big
item.
thing, as they always
Not even
say.
the next big thing, because as we'll discover in tonight's episode, it's not always the big things.
That is true.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's those little things that you do use every day.
Yeah.
That they came up with a good solution for.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't fall into a good business model.
That's true.
So well, we've got that.
We'll
get into all that in a bit, and we've got quite a lot of surprising examples. As well as the news, and we've got plenty of that today. So should we jump straight in?
Let's jump straight in.
Okay. It's a news, and that signifies the start of the news. And it's been a very eventful week this week.
Yeah,
gotta say. I hope you enjoyed the episode last week. The haphazard. I listened back to it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. But I was constantly saying throughout the show, going, "Oh, it's not going well today. It's not going well." But we've had loads of little technical difficulties tonight as well, setting up.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
These things happen. Yeah,
it does. Well,
these incompatibility issues.
Yeah.
So,
well, technology isn't perfect, but
Well, I'll start this story first because it follows on from last week's episode on Area 51 and the storming. I think
Well, it's more like a little puddle, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, the storming,
it was exactly storm. It's more like one grey cloud in a big.
You'd get away with not wearing your armbands in that storm, or a Google,
or a Mac.
Well, the US military have basically apologised now for threats to use bombers against the millennials involved in the Area 51 raid.
Why are they apologising though? Because hold on, that's a national threat.
Well, of course it is, but at the end of the day, mate, it was like they're not exactly going to cause. But it's just in case, isn't it? I
mean, you're going to get some numpty who's going to cross. Well, we have at least 4 people who got arrested.
Maybe it was seen as taking it too far. Do you know, like the what they tweeted? Because I think there was a branch of the US military has apologised after a tweet appeared threatening people, basically saying that if they were going to visit the Area 51 over the weekend.
So they're apologising about writing that down and getting caught for it.
Yeah, basically, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So the message was posted by the Defence Visual Information Distribution Service, and basically said the last thing millennials will see if they attempt on Area 51 today would be a bomber. So I think it was a bit too far out, to be fair.
Well,
do you know what I think?
Yeah,
it was
for the sniper,
a bit of a threat, especially on Twitter. You know what I mean?
But to be honest, they needed that threat. Because if they didn't do any of this kind of threats, then everyone who was there that night would have crossed the line.
So basically,
you know what I mean?
I've been
so
told,
they needed that.
I found out anyway. It was the Naruto run they were doing. We were talking last week and saying that when that guy ran past the camera and he was like, what sort of anime?
Yeah, that like chicken head dive first arms
exactly.
Out.
Yeah, that it's Naruto. Don't watch it myself, but I was told afterwards. It was Naruto, that
Japanese character.
Yeah, so
it's like right. So
there you go.
Fair enough. At least
Thanks for telling us. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, nice one.
Any news you want to talk about?
I got loads on that. So go on.
We'll save that for a little. We'll save a little on NASA news for a little bit later.
No, not unless you want to talk politics.
Oh well, I'm thinking that you can give us a bit of a final thought on the politics stuff.
Well, we got a slap on the hand, didn't he? Basically, they all went back. He lost his case.
Say final thought, not like beginning of the show thought.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it now?
I'll just do a quick rundown on what's happened.
Go on, give us a rundown.
Ladies they've been taken. The government got took to court, and they lost the case. And basically, when they gone back to the Houses of Lords the next day, Parliament the next day,
he said
they were bitching at each other like a bunch of schoolgirls.
He's turned around then and said that he had nothing to apologise for and wouldn't apologise. But then he's kind of... I think what the problem was that his... tone was seen attitude. Well, not even just his attitude. I think the bill he's trying to pass over with, or the bill, what is it, the surrender bill? What would happen if we left without a deal? And what they're saying is that even just the name of that, just calling it the surrender bill, is defeatist and kind of it's treason in a way of kind of it does incite. A bit of violence and a bit of disorder, doesn't it? Because you're basically saying we're giving into Europe. We're giving you, you've got the upper hand. You've got the last say.
He was more into the Parliament was squashed for they wanted to close Parliaments for 5 weeks, and they've said that he lied to the Queen. Well, there was 3 representatives who went and spoke to the Queen, and basically. Civilian businesswoman and some MPs wanted to fight it. One of them, they've already tried to fight it twice. In Scotland, they lost. They said it was unlawful. In England, they said it wasn't unlawful. It was nothing to do with the courts, to do with anything to do with Parliament. So then it went to the High Court. This is the final decision. And
he lost.
All 11 judges, which is very rare, turned around and said it was basically unlawful. So all he has to do is apologise. I was actually
thinking, that's it. But that's what we're saying. He went in and he didn't apologise when court reconvened, or when Parliament reconvened. He didn't. What I think most people are saying, what it looks to me like at the moment is like an American campaign trail.
They're doing what they did to
like
Trump.
One of these sort of like, he's having affairs, he's doing this, he's doing that, trying to paint him in the worst light possible. Now, but I mean,
Thursday,
I do agree. He's done quite a lot of. He's been doing stuff since I think
he's done well since.
I actually thought about this. Right? Do you know the judges who were kind of delivering that verdict? Yeah. What were their beliefs in terms of leave and remain?
For me, money.
No, not for you. I'm talking about the judges, right?
Yeah,
what were their beliefs in terms
someone
of...
give them a backhander.
No,
no,
they might not. Let's just look at it on a personal viewpoint, right? So there's 11 judges there, and I've got to believe that they've all got their own personal opinions about whether they should leave the European Union or not. Now, do you think that their personal opinion? Judges have got to be impartial in terms and look at the evidence and the thingy, but this has gone to that level where it's so kind of you can see the pettiness that's being kind of what's on the in the news and stuff, and the levels that they're going to in terms of petty shit, right?
They're doing stupid shit.
And the arguments in Parliament, it's disgraceful, right?
Absolutely.
Just makes the country look a laughing stock, and it's not funny, right? So then you've got. So it makes me think that, all right then, so say what if there's a majority of those people who were Remainers and now they're like, well, I can stick a wooden spoon in the fucking gets flying ointment here because, the fact is I've got an opportunity here to get discredit Boris Johnson. Yeah. Now I'm not saying that is the case, but it made me think about it.
It is the case, and the reason why
these judges, not just the MPs. I'm talking about the judges who made that decision about it being unlawful.
Well, they have to follow the rules right down to the.
So no matter what they believe on a personal level.
Well, no, they believe on the details because basically there was 4 extra days added on. To them not being in Parliament.
We know that. Yeah, I mean, I think people have been following it, and I think, in terms of, but it's still not got us anywhere.
They haven't got a good reason why it was that long.
All this bullshit that has been, all the stuff that we've been seeing on the news recently about what's going on, right, is not relevant to the actual point and matter at hand by a long way. Yeah. None of it's relevant.
It's taking our eye off the ball.
Exactly, right. And you've got to think, well, what is the game? Because
the game is to keep us in. Yeah. That is the game, basically. It is the game. And the proof is in the pudding, because they did it with Hungary. They did it with Ireland. In fact, they had 3 referendums in Ireland, because the first 2 come up, we want to leave, and then third one, we want to stay, and only just by a little bit. So that means if we have another referendum, which they won, like Labour, Lib Dems and all that, then they're going to try and stay back in. But the problem is that there's power on both sides.
Well, do you know what? It's like I keep seeing stuff like, Jeremy Corbyn and that going, you're going to lose all your voters to us. And it's like, there are other parties.
They've been offered an election, haven't they? Well, and they will not take it, so they must think that the government are doing the right thing.
Well,
you know what I mean? And then taking away from the most powerful thing of leaving with no deal.
Maybe they just don't actually want to be in that situation where they've got their hands on it. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's gone that far now that it's like, we don't want... You saw it, and then we'll take the reins.
Yeah, but Labour wants to go over there, make a deal, and they believe they could... the deal is done. We cannot change the deal, but they reckon they can go over there, change the deal, and actually get somewhere and get us out. But it won't be out. It'll be still in.
I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. It's drawing closer anyway, 31st of October, which is supposed to be when we leave. We'll see what happens on that day. Hopefully we've got a show that day, and we can do a full... We'll do a Taylor's Dream and do a full politics rundown.
I'll tell you what, I've had 2 bottles of champagne for 3 years waiting to pop them.
Well, on that day, I'm going to be a Remainer. just to be controversial.
You go in the corner and get that hanky and wipe it across your eye while I'm there with my fingers all going.
Right, moving on.
Yeah.
We've got quite a lot to get through. In fact, we've got some really interesting stories today. In fact, there's some stories tonight that they're just mind blowing. First one I want to talk about, seeing as though we're kind of on a serious note. You've seen this in the news about the Naga Manchetti incident.
Yeah.
That I don't think that, personally, I don't think she's done anything wrong there, right? And I totally agree with the girl. I think the fact that, the BBC have made statements like they have, saying, you're allowed to kind of say, I've had an experience, but you're not allowed.
No rules. It was only because
I don't think she broke any rules.
She broke no rules.
Exactly, and to be fair, I mean, there's an article in the news at the moment about basically saying that the BBC is now blaming Dan Walker for the comments. Now, he did kind of probe her, and he did ask her a few questions to say, well, what are your opinions on it?
Yeah, and she was putting her own opinions across, which she has the right to do.
Yeah, totally agree.
I think the BBC
are being proper bang out about it, and I think this is it. It was like somebody turned around to me the other day and said, BBC have got a competition going for radio sort of people. You should go in for it.
Yeah.
And I went, no. So firstly,
well, after what we've said about
firstly, I mean, I've not been especially kind to the BBC. Secondly, I don't pay my TV license because I don't use it, and I don't think it's necessary in this day and age. Yeah, don't need it. Yeah, right. Thirdly, the part of the establishment, man. It's like the part of like
not supposed to be, though.
Do you know what? Right, look at Thomas Cook this week. Right, so Thomas Cook have gone under. Right, and I feel bad for everyone who's lost their jobs. I've seen a poor girl. People. There was a poor girl who's like an air hostess, and she's she's lost her job working for Monarch. Yeah,
and they learned this off the news as well. They didn't even get contacted.
No, I know. Yeah. So, a few of them did, and quite a lot of them didn't. Yeah. But there was an incident in Manchester a couple of years ago where everybody got let go by text message.
Yeah,
and it's like it's amazing how kind of the higher ups run for the hills and they don't
do what they want.
Face the responsibility. Yeah. In these situations. I think with this, Thomas Cook say like if it was the BBC that was going under, how fast do you think the government would step in and bail them out?
Straight in. Here's your money. How much do you want? Here's a blank check.
There you go.
What do you want? Bang,
so I think no.
Well, it is an institution. It's just been
it's just not a cup of tea,
now.
not my cup of tea really.
No,
but
definitely not.
Where was we go? But the thing is, I mean, it's like when you've got policies like this, that just basically make you look fucking
makes them
stupid.
look like a laughing stock.
Exactly, doesn't it? Yeah,
and
right.
Not far after
and it's
the Jimmy
not
Sandal.
even that. It's like I mean, these guys. I think the journalists, and if they were able to say what they want to say, I mean, I've seen the clip of what she was saying, right.
Yeah, totally
so
watched all of it.
I think she's perfectly within her rights to say what she said.
Anything
and
wrong.
She didn't say anything wrong. So
it's her own opinion.
I think
I
think the BBC should reflect on what the people's opinion on this is.
Yeah.
And realise
watch this. This is going to be in Parliament. Watch this. This is going to go. So someone's going to because if you do I think it's 10,000 signatures.
Okay.
You can knock on the door of
10 Downing Street. Yeah.
So it has to go through Parliament.
Okay.
Yeah. So this could go through Parliament.
Take it to 10 Downing Street, mate.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think I think this has been a
you might give
joke.
us a break from Brexit a little.
Yeah. Well. There you go. So I think everyone should go and if you don't know the story, check it out because I think it's...
and if they carry on boycotting, to be honest, turn them off.
So I think check it out anyway.
Boycotting, should I have said, not boycotting.
Fucking me.
Boycotting.
Right. So got a couple more stories here before we move on to the NASA news. So we've covered that. So here's one. Comic books, I like a good comic book. I'm a big comic book fan, right?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Well, I've got a nice collection actually. I mean, I used to collect a lot of
White Dwarf.
White Dwarf,
I've got loads of that.
I used to collect comics when I was a bit younger, but I've still got quite a lot of my graphic novels and that. But there's a guy here. He was a comic book artist, and he's basically passed away. And it was like he got himself put into a comic book, all his ashes.
What? All of his ashes?
Well, yeah, into the run of this certain comic.
What, did it make him out of paper or something?
What? He was hired by Marvel in 1978.
All right.
Yeah, and he stayed there until his death. And during, working there, he worked on a variety of books and becoming an exclusive editor.
Yeah.
He wrote books and edited other people's work. And, so he was
trying to get one better over Stan Lee, eh?
It was what's he called now? Alex Lapone.
Yeah, I can't even say that.
So but when he passed away, he got his ashes put into a comic book print, and you can still get it. I think it's the Squadron Supreme issue. Yeah.
Well, is there just one, or
I'm
there's
not
a
sure
couple
now
of
if there's just one or there's if it's a. Well, I'm sure that it's if it's just the one. No, rarity.
Yeah.
I think these kind of
that'd be a bit valuable, that then. It's a rarity like that.
No, I think this is it. Rarity. It says here 16,500. No, 165,590.
Whoa.
And it came out in 1996. So it depends on how many issues are still around today.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true,
Depending on.
yeah.
So if there was literally a handful of issues,
I would have thought it'd be quite a few now, to be honest.
Yeah, potentially. Well, you'd think you'd keep that one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Definitely. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Especially if you knew the story behind it.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes you don't.
What?
You don't know the story behind it, but you've got the object.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I remember.
You sat there and just now that's come up and you've gone, whoa, no way, I've got that.
Well, there was actually a one where Kiss, do you know the rock band Kiss?
Yeah.
They did an issue for Marvel Comics.
Oh, right, okay.
Where each member of the band put a couple of drops of blood into the ink. Yeah. Right. So when the comics went to print, each comic had Kiss DNA, Kiss blood printed in the comic. That was badass, mate. That was so badass in the 70s, 80s, whenever it came out. And it was actually, there was a thing with Stan Lee, not so just before his death, where there was something with his nurse, where the nurse or somebody who was taking care of him actually taken blood, like, without kind of...
What, his blood?
Yeah, Stanley's blood. This is what I heard, yeah, right? And the guy, I think there was some more to it. I'm not 100% sure what the whole story is, but it was something about, like, the nurse was basically trying to do that, or it was somebody who was linked to a comic, or, wanted the blood to do the same thing and like a limited edition Stanley.
Yeah, but without his knowledge, they can't prove that it's his blood, can they, really?
Well, I think they were just preying on the fact that he was getting on. Do you know what I mean? Like...
Tight bastard.
Yeah, I'll have a look into that and try and find the full story out, because I hate kind of half stories. Do you know, when you come out online and just be like, oh well.
Yeah, but sometimes you got something to say.
If anyone knows anything about it, send it my way. Send it over on Twitter or any of the social media. NASA_never. Yeah, always about. Say hiya. Actually, to be honest, I've not really been on there that much this week. I've been way too busy.
Yeah.
I've had so much work to do, but, like, got it all smashed off now, and I've got 10 days off.
Yeah, jammy fucker.
10 days holiday.
10 days off. Doing fuck all.
It's good, mate. I can't wait.
Getting up late in the morning.
Getting up late, going to bed late. Working. I've got some stuff to do. Got some bits to do. I'm going to do some bits for the podcast.
Yeah.
Now I've got some time. It's been eating into, my time when I've been getting, when I've got to do work and I feel brain dead and then I've got to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So, got some more stories.
Sweet.
So we've covered Nagam and Share. Right, here's a bit of more light-hearted stuff. In fact, we've got a weird story here, right?
Oh, right.
And say before we go light-hearted, this has been covered by a few outlets now, and I first seen it in the Mirror.
Yeah.
And then it was great because last podcast covered it in one, I think, on their side stories.
Good lads.
Then I've looked into it a bit more. It's just so good.
Yeah,
it's such a great
bizarre,
story.
Man.
So a couple adopt a 6-year-old Ukrainian girl who turns out to be 22.
Right.
And tries to kill them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
murdering
she
child.
Quotes...
Her name Damien?
She'd make statements and draw pictures saying that she wanted to kill family members and then roll them up in a blanket and put them in the backyard, right?
What the fuck?
She was standing over them in the middle of the night.
What?
You couldn't go to sleep. They basically had to hide all the sharp objects in the house. They saw
way.
Her pouring chemicals, like bleach and Windex and some other stuff, into a coffee.
What?
And then when she asked her what she was doing, she went, I'm trying to poison you.
So she was openly
admitting it. Yeah, right.
Psycho bitch.
So, Natalia was a woman, she said she had periods, she had adult teeth, and she never grew an inch taller, a single inch in the whole time that they had her.
Yeah, didn't they have her from, like, 2011? They had her tested to see if...
Yeah, because they weren't convinced that she was an actual, child. Well, this apparently the story behind this mum, or this family, is that she's kind of been like a praised, super mum.
Yeah,
she's been kind of like on TV because she's done such a good job. I think she had a disabled child, and she's been praised for the way she's raised it and all the rest of it, which is fair enough.
Yeah,
but then she's gone and adopted this next kid, or who she believed to be an ex-kid. Obviously, seen a kid in distress and needed help, and decided to help.
Doing a nice thing, man.
So, the fact is that they claim that it's a child. It's not a child. It's a fully grown adult.
Yeah.
With dwarfism, right?
Yeah.
So that's why she looks so young. Now, if you see a photo of this girl, she looks 6.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she's could
22.
Be. She's 22. So, like you say, they took her to the doctors and said, like, can you check her out?
And then they did it in 2013
they said
as
that
well.
She had like this. They'd aged her about 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they got her aged again and reclassified and got her medical records changed to age 22.
Yeah, which I thought was funny. How did they do that? Because she'd been checked in 2011, checked in 2013 near the time when they decided to do this to the girl, and then he legally changed her age to 22. How the fuck did he legally change her age?
Well,
that's the funny part that I can't get.
Well, afterwards, the parents ended up moving to Canada, leaving her behind. Yeah, and this was 5 years ago, right? So they're now being charged with basically these charges filed against them for child endangerment. Even though it is true that the child is now 30 years old.
See, so how the hell can the charges are going to end up dropped because one, she's legally now. She was 22.
Well, she was legally 22 anyway. Yeah, but she'd had like some sort of kind of backstory of mental illness, and she's known about. Yeah, but now she's disappeared apparently.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, in someone else's arms.
Yeah, potentially, because there's actually, there's somebody that actually put in the comments on this article saying it's the third couple that's happened to this week.
This week?
I think it's just a bit of comedy. But, but where did the adoption...
Why is there an APB on it?
Who was the adoption agency that...
Well, that's what the mother reckoned, didn't they? That they reckoned he was scammed.
Yeah, exactly. But either way you look at it, you've got got a dodgy situation because, like you say, you've got the fact that you've got a mum up against this child for child endangerment. Because when they moved to Canada, they put a potential 6-year-old
in a
flat on its own. Yeah,
paid for the flat, nothing else, just the flat.
Yeah, but then apparently, like Social Security was filed for.
This is another thing that I couldn't get.
So it's the kid's obviously got enough nous and enough bit about her to be able to go out and
So do you think she's a kid or
and claim benefits?
Well, well, this is it. Well, she's claimed 22 now. If she was 6, she could still claim she's 22 legally.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how the hell did the family can get done for child neglect?
Exactly. Well, she should be filing claims against her.
Yeah.
She's obviously, there was another incident where she pushed her into an electric fence.
Yeah.
And it was like
little psycho kid,
the kid's like 6,
or
so
adult,
it's like
or
obviously.
thing.
And then she commented on how she did wonder why she was so kind of strong for a 6-year-old.
You know what I reckon?
What?
Alien.
Maybe.
Yeah. Aliens are here. Yeah, we've got proof now.
Interesting story. Let us know your thoughts. It's a bit of a kind of a bit of an odd one. Yeah. I thought it was crazy anyway.
I like that one about the cloud. The one you was talking about, the clown.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that another day. I've got this one here. Chip shops.
Chip shops.
We've talked about chip shops in the past, and they'll some of them they'll just deep fry anything, won't they?
Yeah.
Especially Scottish chip shops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Newcastle.
We've talked about some crazy stuff that they've fried or put on pizzas.
Yeah.
Right, but step further, this one, which actually sound quite nice. Yeah.
No.
I'd like to try one of these because obviously I like a bit of a fritter.
Oh, the grease coming out of it and that.
Yeah. Well, from mince pies to Mars bars and cream eggs, pretty much anything you can coat in batter and
pig stick and they do that.
Pop in a bit of hot oil there. You can the latest thing to get the deep fry treatment is Jaffa cakes.
It's terrible. Jaffa cakes. I like Jaffa cakes, but I wouldn't deep fry them.
Well, here we go. Do you know what? Right, for once, it's probably not Scotland because on this occasion,
what? It's not Scotland.
According to Belfast Live, Belfast.
Oh my!
A chip shop. There has been offering customers a chance to chow down on a battered. A
battered Jaffa cake.
A battered Jaffa cake.
Oh no!
I mean, not everyone's on it. Not everyone's like thinking it's a good idea.
No,
but
that just looks wrong.
So the railway chippy has been he's basically the establishment behind the quirky treat.
In Belfast.
What?
The railway chippy in Belfast.
Yes, I think it is in Belfast.
Well, if you want one, go along there, see, and go and see.
Because usually it is Scotland.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's usually north of England or Scotland.
Oh, do you know what?
It's
intriguing me because do you know what? It's that jelly stuff, in a Jaffa cake, isn't it? Do you know the Jaffa, the Jaffrey bit?
Yeah.
right? It's a bit of a jelly consistency.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how that'd be under, like, you know,
melting.
Would it
melt
melt?
into it? Yeah.
Oh, that'd be bad. That with
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
of batter, crispy batter. It'd have to be crispy batter.
because you got the grease along with it as well.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
do,
and then the
don't do
chocolate.
grease.
You got chocolate in between. It's like, no, you know what?
I remember going to a chip shop once when I was still in high school, and I wanted a scallop. Now, anyone you don't know what a scallop is, the cheapest thing you can get from a chipper. Yeah, right.
Cheap chip, basically.
It's a slice of potato battered, and it's just a big battered chip.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's quite nice, actually. A bit of salt and vinegar on it, and stick it on a bar.
But you can't have a load of them. I can be greedy and look at them.
Or a tea, whatever you want to call it.
Tea cake.
A couple of bits of bread.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite delicious, right? Well, one day I've seen this scallop in the chip shop, and I've got big. It was a big one.
Yeah.
And I went, because they were all the same price. They don't charge you by the weight.
Yeah,
so it's like, I'll have that one.
Yeah.
Get me that
20p.
one. Eyes too big for me belly, right?
Yes.
So I get it.
Can be sick.
And I bite into it, and it was all void space. Yeah, right. The potato was hardly.
Like
it'd
small
gone.
one.
Yeah, the potato had kind of died or shriveled up inside. Right.
Shit.
And it was just oil. Yeah, I know, and it just ran down my mouth, and I just went, do you know what? I can never eat one of these again.
Oh no, I like a scallop.
I've had one since, but it's that's always been in the back of my mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had
snap it before you actually eat.
I had some chicken wings the other day, which was very similar, where it was like just oily, and I was like,
it's
reminded
oily.
me of that day, and it didn't. It was horrible memories.
Nasty, man. Nasty.
It doesn't bear thinking about. Sorry, we're getting deep into personal stuff tonight.
Yeah, you just like sucking oil. That's what you like.
No, come on.
Hey, proofs in the pudding, mate.
Yeah. So what else?
What about that guy in the UFO?
Oh yeah, there's a guy here. Yeah, right.
I've seen it actually on a program.
So basically, this guy, he's built like, you know, people live in some crazy structures.
Well, yeah.
Well, this guy's built a UFO.
Yeah.
So, you know, many people have thought of, you know, building a dream home or kind of a quirky.
I would have built it bigger.
Quirky house. I would have, to be honest.
You know what, though? There's a lot of space in there, you know. There's like 3 levels.
What do you mean?
In that pod, it looks like one level, doesn't it?
These were built actually in the 60s, in the late 60s and early 70s. And there was a number of homes around the world that were built and designed around, you know, UFOs and kind of just strange sort of things.
Yeah, so it was big back then, wasn't it?
This was actually built. This was built by a Finnish designer called Matti Sarunen, and he designed the Futuro homes, as they were officially known. And they resemble flying saucers.
I would have done a big battleship or something.
I would have done a mothership. I would have done like one of
definitely.
what's the Imperial Star Destroyer from Star Wars, like the one that takes it absolutely ages to come into shot at the beginning of New Hope.
Well, I don't know. I won't go that big. I think I'd go something like
no. I'd go as far as the Imperial Star Destroyer spoof out of Spaceballs at the very beginning of that, because that takes the piss out of the fact that it takes ages to go past. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It goes even longer.
Oh shit. You know,
fucking Mel Brooks. Apparently I've not, but I think, you know, it's got a great cast. Rick Moranis is awesome in it. Yeah, he's got some of the best writing. I think Mel Brooks was spot on. I remember buying that on VHS back in the day. VHS. And but there's a funny sort of thing that happened on. Have you heard of the Goldbergs?
Yeah.
Right. Well, there was an episode of the Goldbergs
it today, actually,
where it was kind of dedicated to the Spaceballs movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the Rick Moranis has actually been in retirement for years. He's not acted. He's not done anything.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in that episode where Dark Helmet, or the kind of parody of Vader, comes in, and it's Adam dressed up in most of the show. Yeah. But in that scene, he's having a dream sequence. It's actually Rick Moranis. Come out of retirement, and it's like a dream Adam's having. But now Adam's a real person. He's the guy who wrote and directed the Goldbergs. It's a kind of a circular thing where it's like he's grown up to write about himself and his own past, right? So, but he's had a dream where he wakes up and he says, "I will make Spaceballs 2."
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is that him saying,
that a little indication
I'm
that
going to
he might be
make
coming?
the Spaceballs 2's coming out? Because it's a perfect time for it. Star Wars is the trilogy of trilogies is
He's
about
starting to die
end.
off,
Yeah, well, we've had 3 trilogies, and this is the end. Christmas time comes, mate, and it's the end of 3 trilogies.
Yeah.
So it's rather put it to bed put it to bed or start a new story, right?
Yeah.
So,
something else, yeah.
So to have that, I think it'd work. Do you know what I mean?
I'd like to see that, number 2.
But I think a Spaceballs 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to have a whole new cast, but I mean, Star Wars has got a whole new cast,
well,
and you
true.
could definitely have people like what's he called, Bill Patterson, is he?
Yeah.
Who was in he was in Independence Day as the president. What's he called?
Oh,
I can't remember his name, but you know who I mean.
Yeah.
Well, he plays the Han Solo.
Yes,
guy
yeah,
and he's still alive.
Yeah.
So you could do this Han Solo sort of
That's
parody
true,
of, he's got a son and he kills him, and you
that's
could do that whole thing. So I think that'd be pretty interesting.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll wait for Family Guy to do that kind of shit as well. Carry on the.
Do another trilogy. Of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, keeping on the topic, actually, we're seeing as though we're on kind of entertainment news. Spider-Man returning to the MCU. We talked about it a few weeks ago, how Sony was doing a deal with Marvel went to him with a bigger deal and said we want a bit of more of the pie, and Sony went, nope, we're not playing, took the ball back.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they've gone back to the table, and they've actually gone with the original deal. Yeah.
Right, okay.
They've let Tom Holland come back in for the third part of the Spider-Man trilogy.
Right, okay.
So Marvel will be making that, and as well as an additional film, which is untitled, but it'll be in the MCU. So it'll be another Avengers potentially, but he's the only... Kevin Feige released a press statement this morning basically saying Spider-Man's the only superhero he's got a special power that can transcend basically cinematic universes. So he's able to go from Marvel to Sony and be in both, basically.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, good news. I think it's... and then that introduces Venom and stuff, so, you can always do that crossover. So it's all good news. I think, I think there's actually been talk about Marvel picking up Star Wars, and doing making a Star Wars film.
Well, they've sort of got that with Guardians of the Galaxy. They just need to make it bigger with that.
Well, Guardians of the
and
Galaxy
then bring in
3 is a
superheroes.
long time coming, but actually, I tell you what. It's good news about Spider-Man coming back, but as well, one thing is people are saying, was it all a big hype? Because it's only been a month. He was taken away and now he's brought back, and was it a big hype just to create interest?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably, because it worked.
Well, it definitely
worked, so, yeah.
I've got...
advertising's the key, man.
I don't know what this is as well, but I don't know what they're planning. Yeah, but Jurassic Park, the makers of Jurassic Park...
Oh, right.
Universal, released a short film.
Of what?
Yeah, of a Jurassic Park story. Yeah. And it's
short?
centred 8 minutes, 9 minutes
8
long.
minutes?
Yeah, it
9
was
minutes.
actually really good, right?
Okay.
And it's basically aimed at the fact that, or focuses on the fact that dinosaurs are everywhere now. They've started to breed in the rest
like America.
Well, because at the end of the last film, they escape the island, don't they? And some of them have been brought back, and they're free, they're loose. Yeah. So, I don't want to spoil it, but it's
going to
kind
show
of
what's going to happen if that did
basically
happen.
It seems like a story from an everyday occurrence that ends in a dinosaur incident.
I believe that's the American say it's good eating.
It's called Battle for Big Rock.
Right, okay.
So check it out on YouTube. It's the full thing's on YouTube. It's about 8-10 minutes.
Okay,
It's well worth the watch. So I definitely recommend that. Other than that, what NASA news have you got today, sir? I've got no NASA news today.
You've got no NASA news?
I've got no, I've not.
Ahead of the game.
Head of the curve.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Apparently, according to NASA,
According to NASA.
This is according to NASA.
According to NASA, yeah.
The second planet from the sun, which is... Do you know what it is?
Second planet from the sun, Venus.
Yeah. Well, according to their new computer model, the Venus was probably inhabited.
Well, yeah, but that's what I said, because everyone's always looking over at Mars. Why aren't we ever looking at Venus?
You reckon it changed like 700 million years ago?
It's there, man. It's pink and bright and in the sky. You can see it most nights.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's getting closer. It's like us, we're getting closer to the sun. Like in less than a billion years. I'd say, in like 500 million years, we'll be burnt out. Because we'll be that close to the sun, and don't forget the sun's growing as well.
And plus... There's a number. I mean, I don't want to be like a prophet of doom or anything, but there's like so many different ways we could get took out. I mean, obviously we're drifting further from our moon, right? For one, which means
drifting from what?
Oh, either way, which means that at some point our tidal is that going to affect our tidal lock?
Most definitely.
Obviously, you've got the fact that the sun's gonna turn into a red giant and eventually
grow and swallow us first
and swallow us up.
Red.
Oh, not before our seas boil. But
and don't forget the meteorites are missing.
Then you've got meteorites that are just hit missing.
And the viruses we create and the viruses that are natural.
It's fucking all sorts in it. I ended up watching Armageddon again the other day. Yeah,
did you?
Right, and I think it's still a brilliant film.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's such a good film. Yeah, I think Steve Buscemi's amazing in it. Yeah, right, and he's riding.
Brilliant song as well.
Great song, but do you know what? The bit that still makes me cringe.
What's that?
It makes me cringe every single time I've seen that film, right? And it's the animal cracker bit.
The animal cracker?
Yeah, when he goes like that, he goes. When he's got Liv Tyler lay on the ground, and it's like, and the song "I Can Close My Eyes" is playing in the background, and he's got his animal biscuits,
all right,
his animal crackers. Yeah. And he's like going, it starts documentary style, going, if I go up the jungle, if I go up to the mountain, there's peaks, or I could go down, and then he tucks a little animal cracker inside the pants, inside the panties, right? And it's
and that made you cringe.
It makes me cringe,
right? Okay.
Makes me cringe no end. Right. I can't believe it.
Okay.
Why do you think that's an endearing moment?
No, I have no opinion at all. It's like that's the way the director wanted to put it, and
that director's got some.
Yeah, but don't forget, he was going off to either die or either come back and. Well, he got blinded in it, didn't he?
No, he dies. He's cool. No, he's cool. He's cool. He's absolutely fine.
Yeah. He's doing some more acting now, isn't he?
No, he comes back because he was about to go out and he draws the short straw, doesn't he?
His visor went up. He had his visor up he caught the sun in the eyes.
Oh no, that must be a different film.
Oh, it might be.
One of them, maybe. Yeah. I don't think.
No, it's right. Yeah, it's the one where you go in the meteorite, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no one. He didn't blind him. He comes back and marries Liv. It's all peachy.
Yeah.
So go on, asteroids. What are you talking about? NASA news.
Venus.
Venus. Yeah,
Venus being.
That was me interrupting again.
700 million years ago, they reckon that was the point it changed that it killed the planet.
700 years ago, Venus used to be a bit of a party planet, yes?
Yeah, well, apparently so. But they've always reckoned that anyway, to be honest.
So what?
This new computer model
do you reckon women are from Venus then? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that, but
women are from
NASA
Venus,
might
men
be
are
saying
from
that.
Mars.
I haven't asked them. Next time I phone them up or ask them. Okay. See what they say.
Give them a shout.
Yeah.
Go on.
Then there's been a wicked photo, right, being taken by Juno,
right,
which is the space rocket that's passing Jupiter.
Space rocket.
Yeah, spaceship as they call it. Yeah, it's a spaceship according.
Is it a spaceship?
Yeah, spaceship. No passengers, but it's a spaceship.
Yeah, okay.
But it's
a drone.
Well, yeah, effectively, yeah. Effectively with a little engine. Yeah.
The little rocket that could.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the little rocket that could. We've had quite a few out there now. But, there was a picture of what people were saying was a black hole on Jupiter. And it was a wicked picture. On the surface, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have a look for that.
It's a wicked picture.
I like pictures.
Yeah. But except for one thing.
Go on.
They finally found out what it was.
A smudge on the lens.
No, it was actually one of the moons.
What, casting a shadow?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was really a good picture. But it was a good fake, but...
Yeah, well, no, because it's not fake because it's there. Do you know what I mean?
But
that shadow exists, and it existed and cast on the planet.
Yeah, but
it just happened that from whatever angle they were shooting it from.
Yeah,
caught that. So I mean, you can't rule out foreign objects. So it's like this stuff like we were talking about monoliths on the moon and stuff. Now, like a lot of the proof that kind of says this is because of shadows that are being cast.
Yeah.
So, potentially some of this stuff could be like, shadows from something that's not in the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Above rather than, adjacent to the side or casting a shadow from an angle.
Well, it just makes me think of the images I spoke the other week about, the energy in the images in the solar system, and where you see the planets and stuff like that. And there was weird stuff going on around Jupiter.
I love how they do, because it's all kind of like, because cameras pick up light and stuff, but it's like you can shoot infrared and you can shoot all these different things.
Yeah,
it's like the filters that they have to put on these cameras to kind of get the these kind of nebulas and stuff.
Well, there's some...
Anybody interested in astronomy photography, by the way, or astrophotography, give me a buzz, because I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah,
just general. Yeah, it could be an opportunity.
Could be.
Yeah, give us a shout. Yeah. Interested, very interested.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we come up. Let's look in your telescope.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you've got to be local as well. Yeah, to like the
Manchester
UK.
area.
Well, no, the UK.
Yeah. Okay.
Essentially. Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Yeah, because it could be in different areas.
It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere.
True. That's true.
You don't have to. You could, if you're interested. Right, I'll say this like this. Right, that was a bit strangled, so we're gonna say. I will say it again. If you're interested in astrophotography and you actually do it, and you can tell me about it, then
and you're pretty good at it,
and you're good at it, right, and you can send me some examples of your photography. Drop me a line, because I'd like to speak to you. Yeah.
No dodgy pictures, thank you.
No nudes. Don't send nudes.
No dick pics.
Anyway, right, moving on. Abu King trying to hire people online.
Well,
if you're an astrophysicist, give me a call, because I'm going to nail cold fusion before the end of Christmas.
Yeah, I haven't got a job for you, like.
Yeah, but
in your free time.
We'll make money when we do it. We don't get the money now.
Yeah,
we could get grants. Right, go on anyway. Sorry, I'm diverting.
Phil Grant.
Phil
Grant? Who the hell's Phil Grant? I'm thinking there. Who's Phil Grant?
Mitchell.
Yeah.
He's stoned.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm liking it. Right, another one. You remember that hole?
I remember hole. I remember every hole I've ever seen.
You've been in, have you? Well, you remember that hole in the ISS, the International Space Station, that come off the cosmonauts?
Let me guess. This is the one that they suspected was foul play.
Yeah.
It was actually could have been one of the cosmonauts who did it on purpose because he wanted the day off.
Yeah, and it was in the living quarters as well.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So what's the outcome? Have they found out what happened?
Right, well, this is the outcome, right? Right, new reports from Russia state that they have finally found the source of the hole in the ISS.
Hello to you. Today we have finally found the hole.
Yeah. But...
It's not Russian, that.
Well, I don't know what it was.
I'm very Scottish.
But we are not willing to tell you what the outcome was.
We know what it is, but we're not going to tell you what it is.
But we are not going to tell you how this 2mm hole was put in a Soyuz MS-09 spacecraft. And by the way, when it come to Earth, it burned out.
You're making
so you got no evidence.
Something.
It was like a drill hole. Seen the pictures, it was really like a drill.
Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was caused by a cosmonaut. He did it.
So it's the one who's got the drill.
Well, no. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, right, okay, for confidentiality reasons or whatever. Yeah. So maybe this cosmonaut has been reprimanded. He's been called into a disciplinary.
He nearly destroyed the ISS.
Yeah, totally. And like, you know, and by saying that, they're basically saying we know exactly what happened, but we're not prepared to comment on it.
We know it could have been Russian sabotage to destroy.
Yeah, maybe. Do you know what I mean?
You know, international get together. You know, a project that they're working with the US. You know, they're not exactly friends. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So I mean, I think like by saying they know what happened, but we're not prepared to discuss it.
Yeah.
It says a lot. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And that comes from the official man from the top.
That means somebody's lucky to still have a job.
Yeah.
In other words, he's rather not been sacked, and that's why they're not talking about it, or he's been sacked, and that's why they're not talking about it.
Well, yeah, but don't get me wrong. Whenever we've asked
maybe
for
he's been
information
shot.
from Russia,
he's in a suitcase somewhere, fucking folded up, in a locked hotel room.
Yeah.
And it was locked from the outside.
Yeah. How the fuck? Well, these people have the capability, don't they? They have the tools to do the job.
Got the tools, we got the talent.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but yeah, it seems like that. Like, well, they say. I don't know. There must be something there. The reason why they're not saying anything, unless they're just trying to wind up the Americans, which I think they're trying to wind up the Americans. But it is funny how a 2mm.
It's like that. With the psychic arms race all over again. It's like, we're not doing psychic stuff, honest. And then it's like,
yeah. Well,
so it's like wind up time.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. I believe we're back into the Cold War era.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I think we need to move on it in a minute. So if
well, that's the last I've got.
Was that the last of the NASA news?
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, I have got to search though. I need to search for someone. There's someone missing. We've been looking for him for a while, and he hasn't turned up. It's Mr. Guy Fawkes. If he's out there, can he come forward and sort Parliament out again?
Yeah. Well, no, this is the thing, because the reason why we celebrate Guy Fawkes is because he failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They caught him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the celebration. I mean,
it's
like people say, why are we celebrating a terrorist? It's like, no, we're celebrating the fact that they caught him.
Yeah.
But maybe him doing that might... I mean, I don't want to... Sure, well, fucking hell, I don't want to say, that, because it'd be fucking...
Oh, yeah, don't want him there.
Yeah. But,
But we need V for victory. We need something.
Where's old, V?
You know what I mean? We need some balls in this place again.
Nah. Do you know what? I wouldn't even do that, because Parliament, you know what? It's a nice building. Just get rid of the knobheads inside, that's all.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need to destroy a landmark. Just get rid of the dickheads inside it.
No. Yeah.
Right, anyway. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to be talking about, as we discussed earlier on in the show,
sausages.
We're going to be discussing Lincolnshire sausage. No, we're not talking about
cheese,
sausages. But we could talk about, like, obviously... Have you ever heard the phrase, how the sausage is made?
Oh, yeah.
When you know how something's done, you don't, it's like,
It tends to be, you know what, I'll leave that alone, or it tends to be, all right then. I know how it's made, I don't like it, but I'm having it.
Well, how we got started on this, how the sausage is made, potentially nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, absolutely.
How we got onto this topic anyway was, like I say, we were discussing
because there's no Kit Kats
a while ago. Shut up! And let me get on with the show.
Go on.
You dad puns are not funny. Yeah, right. Anyone told you they are?
They are.
Saw it. Right. So we were talking a while ago about. These products out there, or supposedly where it was kind of an infinite product, say. So, like, I think one of the first products I kind of came across was a razor blade that would never go blunt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why aren't these on the market? I mean, guys use razor blades on a daily basis. They shave. Women use the razor blade, shave the legs, all the rest of it, all the delicate bits. It's like, if a razor blade was on the market that never went blunt, and you only ever had to buy the one, that'd be ideal for a consumer, But on a business level,
it doesn't work. It breaks down.
I don't want to sell one razor blade that lasts a lifetime, because that means
all your money, not just a little bit.
I sell one razor blade to each customer, and that's me out of business.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, what
and
I
then
need
the makers
is a razor blade that goes blunt, a razor blade that rusts, a
Yeah.
razor blade that doesn't work.
Yeah.
After a couple of weeks. Yeah. That's ideal, because I've got to sell packs of 5, and then the deer is fuck, and I've got to go and buy another pack of 5, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
Now, started looking into this, and I came across nylons, right? Now, back in the war, or back when nylons first were introduced, right, they were advertised as being so strong that you could pull a wagon.
Yeah.
Not just a wagon, like, because I said this when I was down in London, a wagon. I said, unloading the wagon. And somebody went, what, a horse and cart? Like, and I was like, no, I mean lorry. A truck with a big wagon, like a big box on the back, like the wagon.
Private conveyance.
So, where am I going with this?
I don't know. Sausages.
So, if we stop mentioning foodstuffs. So the nylons, you could pull a truck. You could pull a truck with them, and they were that strong that if your car broke down, they said recommended you always have some nylons in the glove box, because you can use it as a fan belt.
Yeah, I've done that. It's
strong.
Yeah,
right? Now what they do,
you can leave it on for months, if not years.
They reverse engineer these products. Over the years to make them weaker. So they're not a sustainable. It's just not a sustainable product. It's a product that's gonna crap out on you. They've made it disposable, right? They've turned a perfectly working, strong product into a disposable product,
and they've made rubbish.
What?
They've made more rubbish and more.
Oh yeah, that's it. They've totally contributed to environmental issues, right? And these are just these simple products that you wouldn't even think twice about. Now, it got us thinking. We've discussed it a few times, but we've started looking into other suppressed technologies. So technologies where,
they've appeared and then
or some inventors
them.
invented it, and it's gone against like the main establishment or what the infrastructure that's already in place. And they've decided,
you don't make money, you don't do it.
You can't have that. You can't you can't bring that out because it'll ruin us. And that's what a lot of this seems to be.
Most definitely.
Industrial espionage, sabotage.
All that goes.
And stifling of potential life-changing, beneficial technologies.
Yeah.
Do you know? And these are just the stuff that's come out and that's known. I mean, I wonder how much of this stuff's happening today, where you hear about like big companies like Google, where and like Amazon, where like another rival firm website will spring up, and they'll be seemingly doing very well, and then Amazon will, or I'm not, over a big rival company, who's like
there are plenty more companies out there.
The main dominating force on the web comes
the
along
monopolizers.
and goes, the monopolizer comes over and goes, oh, we'll buy your company for a couple of million, which is a life-changing sum for the person who's just set up a website, and they take it, but then all of a sudden it's incorporated into their brand, and it turns into the Google or the Amazon or whatever, and it's squashed. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
plenty
not,
of them,
because they don't need another site, and it's easier for them to pay a few million
pay
just
the competition
to go away. Then and to say, oh, we'll buy you out.
I think that's in book 101, to be honest,
because obviously they can move on and do the next project, and they've got a load of dough to do it. So
it's like the thing on like your phone. On your phone, they bring out one like every year, and they're expensive and stuff like that, and you've got to have add-ons and stuff like that. Now, don't you think they've already got like 20 years worth of goodies already there?
Oh, more
already there, and they're just not letting it out because they want the money.
Well, I mean, even...
and it's not down to the making of it or anything like that. half of it would go down to the making, the distribution and stuff like that, but it's mostly about the money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Keep yourself rich.
Well, there's plenty of examples. I think there's a couple of Nikola Tesla examples I've got here.
Yeah.
So obviously
Perfect
there was,
example.
Nikola Tesla, a man who discovered how to use the alternating current or the AC electricity.
Yeah.
He's many rumours surrounding his life. He was born in 1856, and he's basically described in the history books as one of the people to rediscover how
energy can be,
he was way ahead of people. He was thinking up stuff that nobody could even comprehend.
Yeah.
He was well known for his invention as an inventor, and basically moved to America and worked for Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of a kind of a dispute between who had the better idea, the AC current or the DC current.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now today we know the alternating current is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
we wouldn't have had the FM if variable current would come out, to be honest.
Would we?
No,
obviously,
we
they would have
wouldn't
been
had
benefit.
so many things that we get now.
What if
we'd taken the other current instead of the one we use now?
No, but we did. But Edison's DC current, DC, direct current was commonplace for a long time. It was It's only relatively recently that we've kind of actually started, thinking he was onto something because it's more efficient and it's with transformers and stuff, it's not as dangerous as it used to be.
Yeah.
Whereas Tesla could have, put that in place, that infrastructure, I think. But I think another technology was his, he wanted to kind of implement free energy, right? So he created what are they called? The Wardenclyffe Towers project. The electricity power would have powered everything, to be honest. And then he was kind of also doing something where it was kind of trying to create free energy for the world.
From the Earth's magnetic pull.
Exactly, and kind of that was all, when Tesla died, all of his works was confiscated.
Destroyed, or the FBI took the rest of it.
Apparently there was kind of rumours that they came in the next day and took all of his papers and everything, anything related to his work.
Apparently it's on the net now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I don't believe all of it's on there, to be honest. I think majority of it's on there. There has been parts that have been blacked out, but majority is possibly on there.
Yeah, so
there's definitely stuff not.
He wanted to create free energy by harnessing electricity from the Earth's ionosphere by a means of towers without wires.
Yeah.
So basically the towers could transmit and harness electricity from the ground level areas and then basically recirculate it out as power.
Yeah.
So and the guy was a smart guy, but I mean it's like
genius,
this is it. It's like could we have benefited from that science and a lot of his work earlier, or did once Tesla's stuff was confiscated, do you think that they started kind of developing it in their own way? And we probably did see a lot of his kind of work, but not so obviously. Do you know what I mean?
I think the problem with JP Morgan.
Yeah.
Because he was the funder for both of them, and then soon as Tesla wanted it to be free for everyone, he pulled out, and then from there on, Tesla was like, he was a poor fucker, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is it. He lived most of his life pretty skint, didn't he, to be honest? But, I mean, this is
it's all down to money again.
Keep you hungry, keep you working.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If he was a rich man,
he carried on with
maybe
it,
he wouldn't have invented all the shit he invented.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So.
That's true. The transistor, I mean, he wouldn't have had the TV without it, you know what I mean? So, and that was, I'd say that was the beginning of the revolution of
the communications and technology,
you know what I mean. So he was a great man back in the day, I suppose now, and suppose in the future as well.
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of kind of companies out there, tech companies that are kind of working.
We got one under his name, haven't you?
Well, yeah, Elon Musk.
And how much is he hiding of Tesla stuff?
Well, there's actually been these towers spotted on premises, hasn't there? So I mean, it's obvious that they're working on something within that technology.
And he's doing one of them for Mars as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's designing
maybe that's why he's kind of testing it down here. Then.
And he's doing one, and it's actually being built right now in America to try and give free energy.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. See
Which
where
should
that
be
goes.
out in the next couple of years.
Another thing that, biofuels, talking about energy.
Yeah.
These hemp biofuels was basically, something that was very suppressed. I mean, this all comes down to oil.
Yeah.
And, people who were kind of investing in oil and people who kind of were making a lot of money.
Yeah, because it was like herbs and spices, you know what I mean? It's rich man's game.
They're playing the stock market. They're playing, the oil business, the oil being an oil baron or whatever. And all of a sudden, someone comes out and says, "Mate, you don't have to go to all that trouble.
No, we got it right here.
I can make you a fuel right now out of this stuff, this hemp. Yeah,
we can grow it anywhere.
Yeah, and then it's like not a chance. You'll
lose billions.
Well, we talked about this. The father of the country, the founding father of America, George Washington, was rumoured to have said, "I can't tell a lie."
Yeah.
And was a proud supporter of hemp seeds.
Yeah.
And of course, only thing more, suppressed in the country.
Yeah.
Or in any country for a long, long time was cannabis.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And still is in a lot of places.
Yeah,
so,
but it's loosening up and it's going in the right direction, and especially into the medical way as well. Because there's a lot of good things, but they're talking now about things like acid and that as well.
Well, you've got basically you can. There are many uses for hemp.
Yeah.
Made the plant highly dangerous to current, to corporate.
So many corporations
corporate establishments.
Yeah.
Such as the paper industry, the plastic industry, oil industry. There were actually reported 50,000 different industrial uses for hemp.
Yeah.
50,000 industrial uses.
And that's for what we know now.
So this threatened the industry, quite a lot of industries, and has led to aggressive government-funded corporate backing about anti-cannabis propaganda campaigns.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then you've got to think there's been a lot of people making money, and the businesses have been booming because it's been legalised. There's a lot of people working because that's what they do.
Yeah, but it was taken away, and it's only because it was only because it's the same as like alcohol. Only because you could go away and make it on your own, that it's standing that now it has to be decriminalised. Because anyone can do it at any point, and you can't put everyone in jail. You know what I mean? So you're going against the grain. Well, you're going against the people, which actually put you politicians in your place to actually do laws for us, not to us.
Yeah. Well, moving on. This one was fucking quite interesting, to be honest, when I was looking at when I found out about it. The Rife device. Have you heard about this?
The Rife, go on.
Right, so it's an American inventor, Royal Rife. That's his real name. He was born in 1934, and he cured 14 terminal cases of cancer.
Yes.
And hundreds of animals with cancer cases.
Yes.
By aiming his beam ray, what he called it basically is as a, when it.
Yeah, it's like a laser, isn't it?
Yeah, and it attacks cancer viruses. Yeah. So, obviously, the question is, why isn't that being used today? So there was Barry Lyons in his 1987 book, The Cancer Cure, that worked, details Rife's invention, and basically how it was suppressed. Basically, the technology was rebuffed.
Yeah.
And has never been proven by the AMA.
Yeah.
It got declined in 1953, and then also basically got declined again later on. So the Food and Drugs Administration was to suppress various alternative cancer treatments. So that's what they were under order to do.
Yeah, radiation and stuff like that.
Yeah. So basically, this conflicted with the AMA's predetermination view that radium X-ray therapy and surgery were viable treatments or recognised treatments. So they basically said no. Even though they had evidence to say that it worked, they said they couldn't.
Didn't they get in trouble for suppressing, the AMA and the, I can't remember who else it was, got in trouble for actually hiding the information that you were on about them.
Oh, right. No,
yeah, they actually ended up being in the court case and that. But I think they've got immunity for some reason.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? It's like through a technicality or a loophole, they can go, nah, we can't let you get away. We can't let you put that out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or even as trials cases.
Well, what about the TENS machine? That was mad.
Yeah, but TENS machines. It's like I don't know about TENS machines. I think are they kind of like.
Well, it must have worked because it made
I know a lot of people use
them.
My mum used to use one because she had back problems, right? And I always looked at the machine and thought, and I said to her, "What does it do?" And she's like, "Oh, it emits little pain. And by emitting electrical pulses." Yeah. So, what is that? Not just like I don't know, like new age mumbo jumbo. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, yeah.
Because it come out in
if I stick an avocado up my arse, is it going to cure me of rickets or what?
I don't know. You know what rickets?
I mean? No. That's the similar. That's a sort of medical advice.
Yeah.
I'd put in that same category, to be honest. It's like, but what by electrocute by emitting? It's like wearing magnets on your wrist for arthritis. For arthritis. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And gold. Yeah, but there's been like you can have actually gold injections for that kind of stuff.
If I wear some magnetite or some hematite or some sort of crystal, is it gonna?
Well, it seems to help people.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm saying. Is that psychological? Is it psychology?
It could be. Yeah. A lot of things are psychological.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it seemed to me, and this is just my personal opinion, that TENS machine, could have been. It's 50-50. Yeah, it could.
Well, why did Johnson & Johnson make it then?
Because
bought it out.
Well, because at the end of the day, it's like if it's going to make them money, if it works or not. It's like, what about those heat radiating massages that used to come out, and it'd radiate like supposed to be, a massager.
Yeah,
but it was a red lamp. And it was just pointless. It was just like they knew it didn't work, but it was just we made them. Sell them as a fad.
Yeah, but how come doctors and stuff were beating no. I know. Was saying like, it seems to be the and people do.
All right then.
And then why did Johnson & Johnson
skip back 100 years? Skip back another 100 years, and they were getting you to stick leeches up your ass, and leeches on your genitals, and leeches up your neck, and
because they couldn't generate electric. That's why they couldn't. There was no other substance to use. Well, actually, it went to court. They went to court.
Did Johnson & Johnson who make the baby powder?
Yeah. They were the ones who are just getting in trouble now for the morphine.
Oh, right, okay.
So basically, they were found guilty of destroying that industry because they won't be able to sell their tablets. And was actually sued for 140 million, but over a technicality, they didn't have to pay that money.
There you go.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson, and they're all about. You think when you see the advertisements or whatever, it's like, well, you don't really see advertisements for them anymore, but
no, not over it.
It was dead pleasant. So to see
machines are coming back now.
TENS machines.
Yeah.
Well, here's another machine. The cloudburst.
Oh, yes.
It was the forerunner to harp.
Yes.
So in 1950, if you don't know what harp is, weather machine.
Yeah.
They used it on the royal. They always use it on the royal weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
just
to make sure
it's to make sure it's a nice day that day.
There was supposed to be one in Alaska. They supposed to have turned it off in the late 90s.
That's what they're doing at the moment.
But then all of a sudden it's turned up all around the world.
Mate, it's on today. It is pissing it down today, and there's no sign of stopping. No. In fact, I saw the most impressive. Do you know when a car goes through a puddle?
Yeah.
And it sends that big splash up.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Well, I was on a bus, and I was on the most impressive one of those I've ever seen. Right, it was a bus going through a dip in the road where it was like a hill. Dip. A hill where it had a hill and then a decline and an incline.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, right. So it had a pool of water in the middle, and as the bus went over, the waves on either side were impressive. Everybody on the bus went, ooh, like, because it was super cool, and it was so
easily
high
impressed then
that the water came through the windows and soaked everyone on the bus. It was like,
the windows open.
I was impressed. I was like, I was actually bugged at the bus driver because he was going too slow. But when he did that, he won my respect back. I was like, yeah, nice one, fella.
Well, you've got his respect.
Right. Well, anyway, 1953, when there was basically this invention which is called the cloud burst.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to make it was basically a rain-making device.
Yeah, it made like clouds, didn't it, over a certain area.
Yes.
It did work as well.
Yeah, the Bangor Daily News reported that at a time within hours of setting off the cloud burst, nearly a quarter of an inch of rain had fallen across the area.
Yeah.
Despite having no predictions or forecast that day for rain. So they invented this, but then obviously it kind of got. Well, why would you need such a device for a start?
Well, let's say
for crops and stuff.
Yeah,
I can see that, yeah, right. But do you not think using such a machine would kind of fuck up our? It's a delicate ecosystem, yeah. You can't go around messing with weather and weather patterns because You tell that wind. It's all about pressure. Yeah. It's weather's about pressure. Yeah, and you always hear it on the weather forecast. We've got a band of low pressure or a band of high pressure coming in.
We wouldn't have needed band-aids for one if we had that machine at that time.
Exactly.
And
well, true. Yeah, and I mean, like there was third world countries go over and set that machine off. Yeah, get a load of rainfall. Say, look, we know it's not going to rain here all the time, but we can set this square foot of
we can
crop land
get a few veg, you know
exactly,
what I mean?
yeah. So, it is suppressed technology that could have been
but
life-saving
I agree with what you say.
altering.
I agree. I see where you're coming from. If you're going to do something to the atmosphere there, is it going to destroy or damage the atmosphere?
No, you're saying, right, we want to push that band of bad weather away. Right,
yeah,
so you're pushing pressurized pockets of, when you're flying in a plane and you get turbulence, and your plane goes do-do-do-do.
Yeah,
that's the pocket of pressure. Yeah, right. So if you're flying through them, and that's what the impact is on a plane. Yeah. So you're pushing every force. If you've learned anything in science, every force has an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah. Right. So if you push weather, these pockets of pressure away with a weather changing machine, it's got to go somewhere. And then, we get fucking crazy kickback.
Well, if they would have used it on, one of these hurricanes that destroyed the east side of America,
to the
if
west
they would have
side,
pushed it the other way, it could have come to us. It could have destroyed Europe. It could have gone to Africa.
You never know, honestly.
Could have done all sorts of things.
Well,
so in a way,
you don't know. But then on one hand, it's like you could turn around. If it was me who invented the machine, and then I've set it off a few times, and then a couple of weeks later there was a fucking tsunami somewhere or a hurricane,
because of your machine.
Well, yeah, but you could just say there's hurricanes all the time. It's not necessarily my machine.
True, but the more people use it, and if it ends up being fucking a bit more than shit weather,
all the time, then you know that
when you're cranking the weather machine up to 11 trying to combat the fact that it's raining.
The only way to find out is by using it. It's the same thing as medication.
Yeah.
The only way they find out if you can take that medication is by using you as the guinea pig to take that medication, even though you're paying for it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's there's nothing's perfect in this world, and everyone has a different reaction to whatever substance their body can't stand.
Yeah.
Or can.
So what have you got next for me?
Well, I'll go Kodak.
Kodak,
yeah,
go for it.
Kodak.
So Kodak, we know as I know Kodak as a film company. You know, when I used to shoot in analog, on film, and it, you know, Kodak.
And it's all about
you
that.
could get your developments in America. I think they were bigger. They had a booths everywhere, didn't they? They had
at the top.
In fact, we had booths in London and stuff, Kodak booths, and at arenas and stuff. They'd pop up when concerts had happened.
Oh yeah.
But I think the States kind of like had Kodak booths.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
I'd like to see
one of the biggest.
Yeah, send me some pictures of Kodak booths, man. If you're listening, if you've got a picture,
you like going around taking pictures of booths,
if you've got any old photographs, knocking around with Kodak booths in, send it me. Google it. Fuck it. Google me a Kodak booth. I'll do it myself.
There was a request.
I'm being lazy. I'm trying to get... Do you know what? Don't judge me for trying to get more audience participation, all right?
Yeah, I'm not
do you know what I mean? I'm only just trying to get the people involved.
The product.
Fuck knows, man. I'm just spitballing, man.
I don't even think Kodak is not that big.
I'm interested in photography. Yeah. I'm interested in old photos.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm interested in the history of places, right?
Right.
So if send me some pictures of like the quirky
history of where you live, pictures of little bits that.
Yeah, man, Kodak booths.
There you go. So anyway, anyone who's got a Kodak booth,
I'm gonna get loads of these now.
Yeah,
yay.
He loves you.
Right. Anyway, fucking go on Kodak, bro.
Right, Kodak. Right. Well, in 19...
Right, you crack on. I'm gonna skin up.
Go on then. There was right at the top of the game. And in 1975, by accident, they stumbled upon digital camera.
Oh, yeah.
So, because they were massive in the market and they knew that this could be something that could bring the money...
the game, like.
Yeah, basically. They suppressed it through the 80s. Then... Like in the 80s, they could only make 1 megapixel. That's how ahead of the game than anyone else.
You say ahead of the game, but do you realise how shit 1 megapixel is?
I do. But back then, it was something.
Maybe.
1975. Sorry, the 80s.
I wonder why, people, when digital first came out, why people thought it was so good, because it wasn't. It was so... The image quality was horrendous,
Yeah.
And then if you look at...
Well, it's better than fuck all, though.
No. Well, we didn't have fuck all. We had film cameras which were crystal clear and absolutely spot on and been used for years and years and years, decades, and worked perfectly, right?
Yeah.
The only problem was... it's good for learning, and you can. You can go, oh, that's not quite right. Adjust the settings, delete it. You've got infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
And for somebody who's poor like myself, who can't afford film on a regular basis, film wise, it's not even the case of not even being able to afford the film. It's a case of being able to afford the film and then the development. Unless you developed yourself. Yeah. I've got tins upstairs
this
of
is all
rolls
the money
of film.
these we're making, you know what I mean?
Rolls of film just sitting there.
Yeah, and this is the prices that you take if you're into that stuff, you know what I mean? So Kodak are making money out of you, and so they were keeping it quiet through all that time, and then all of a sudden in 1990s, their competition realised, oh, we've got a little new thing here. It's called digital. Let's put it out to the public. And that's why when in 2012 the Kodak went bankrupt. They're still around. They're a little company now, not half as much as what they were. They're about 1/10 of what they were back then. And
Well, talking about film and photography in terms of suppressed technology, similar thing happened with Polaroid. So Polaroid, they basically went bankrupt, but rather than give up the patent for how they made the instant film, they basically just said no, we're not giving it you. Other companies, there's a company called Impossible. Okay. And they basically had to re-engineer and work it out themselves. So you can still buy film for your Polaroid camera, but it's the only legit Polaroid film, as I understand it, unless they've started making it again, is Impossible film, because all in Polaroid film is out of date. It's all old stock.
But aren't they bringing it back? I've seen cameras. Not that far.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean, you can still get the cameras. Yeah. I mean, I've got a Polaroid camera, and I mean, you can still buy second-hand ones.
Well, the less of them around,
but there's other companies who do instant film now. There's Fuji does a lot of Instamatic. They've got no Instamatic's their own thing, but then you've got Fuji Insta. Which they do like an instant film. So there's there's plenty of different. I remember having a Fuji Polaroid style camera, an instant film camera, when they first came out, and it was huge. In fact, I've still got quite a lot of the photos from that.
I think you still got one, actually.
But going back to they suppressed that. They basically said, we're not going to tell you, we're not going to give you the info, or I'm not even going to tell you how we made it. If you want to know, go and make it yourself.
Yeah.
So any others that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there was what I think he was a Polish fella, basically. He was an inventor who I've already said on the earlier editions of these podcasts. I think I did it in about the 5th one, something like that. And basically, the guy made this battery that he plugged into his house, and he could control everything within his house, and it lasted.
Like Alexa.
Yeah, it was like 3 years. He had that, and he didn't have to change it. He didn't have to do anything to it, and it was just like this little monitor thing. Well, when I say little, it was like I don't know, it was about the size of a frying pan, something like that. A bit taller, you know what I mean? But so he decided to bring it to the government to see if they could do something to help, give it to the people. So I went to the government. Government said, no, we're not interested, blah, blah, this, that and the other. So I was like, right, okay, no problem. So a couple of weeks later, he lived with his sister. So he said to his sister, I'm going down to the shops. So she's gone, right, I'll see you later. I'm going out to my friends.
Don't forget to get the magic beans.
Oh, yeah, I think he was getting the magic beans. So just before she was leaving to go to her friends, she had a knock on the door. And it was 2 tall men dressed in black, authority-like. And they basically busted in there, took the machine, and
that's what they do, a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's what they did to Tesla as well. Just as soon as he died, it was straight in the gaff, take all of his notes, all of his stuff.
He was found in the river down the road, dead, basically.
Take me to the river.
And that technology has never been seen the light of day.
Well, they've got a couple. There's loads of different technologies. Cold fusion, hot fusion.
Yeah.
The safer cigarette. Have you heard about this one?
Oh yeah, this is ridiculous.
We'll just quickly skirt over cold fusion. Cold fusion is technology that's been basically everyone's been trying to get a grips with for so long. They just want to basically create.
There's actually a couple of fellas that reckon they worked it out, but then were basically shut down.
So they want to basically create energy from nothing, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, no, it's from water.
From water.
Basically, it separates the hydrogen from the H2O, and you use the hydrogen.
So how far has anyone ever actually done it? Did you say
apparently
someone's actually done it?
2 fellas in the 50s, I think. They tried bringing it to company. They got basically they got taken the mick out of, and
like they were destroyed basically.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, the companies basically destroyed them.
There's also hot fusion. So cold fusion isn't the only technology getting, like the same sort of treatment.
Yeah. It's sort of the same thing, except for you warm it up instead of you
heat
cold.
Heat up that pan.
Yeah.
I think it was safe cigarette. These, the safe cigarette's actually out now, isn't it? Where it's
the XA.
Well, what it is the XA. Yeah, exactly. So I think this is more to do with like fires. So is it?
No, it's basically they got told they come out with a cigarette because they knew that the poisons and that were in cigarettes that were killing people, giving people cancers. So they designed one which has like a fifth of what a normal cigarette has.
Right.
So they were just about to come out. So just before that, the other cigarette companies found out about it. They turned around to him and did a lawsuit, I think it was, of shutting their mouths, and said to him, like, the problem we have is you're saying that this cigarette is more
dangerous. That's it. They would be admitting
than the other ones that you've been smoking.
They'd be admitting that the tobacco is dangerous
exactly.
as well. So
they would lose the case.
Now,
right out
there's been a development in tobacco because apparently, because of all the house fires. They've put more peat or saltpeter in the cigarette, so when you leave it in an ashtray, it won't burn down and it'll burn out. It'll stop. It'll take.
It's happened on me a few times.
It just put itself out.
Yeah. And it's good.
But it is good. But is that just not adding more chemicals to the mix? I don't know.
It depends. On
there's been a lot of stuff about vaping and smoking at the moment, but another thing, the electric cars.
Yeah.
Now, electric cars, I mean, we're very pushed for time. We're going to have to kind of speed it up a bit, but we've got a couple of electric car sort of things. So the first one was the 99 MPG car. The holy grail of automotive technology was the 99 MPG. Although the technology has been available for years, automakers basically withheld the technology from the US market.
Yeah, because the first one come out in 1884, and the batteries cost too much. There was a few of them, and it was growing in independence. And then, like you said, as soon as the engine was made, bam, they shut it down.
But then in 2000, the New York Times reported that there was a little-known fact, or at least to most, that a diesel-powered dynamo called the Volkswagen Lupo had driven around the world, averaging the higher than 99 miles per the gallon.
Never sold to the West.
The Lupo was sold in Europe for from 1998 to 2005, but once again, automakers prevented it from coming to the market.
Killed it
across America because they had no interest in fuel-efficient cars.
No. If you're paying a couple of dollars for like litres, you know what I mean, then there's no point.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the original electric car, perhaps the most notorious suppressed invention, basically is the General Motors EV1. Subject in 2006 documentary Who Killed the Electric Car. The EV1 was the world's most basically first production electric car with 800 of them made for General Motors in the late 90s. The EV1 line in 1999 started. The customers weren't happy with the limited driver range and the car batteries. Made it basically not an efficient way of doing it because we're getting complaints. This is the reports anyway. And they were basically saying that they were loss of most basically people who started to lose the interest in it, and they took it off the road. But a lot of people will say that it was more to do with the petrol industries and the oil industries. So, I happen to believe that, to be honest.
I think there's enough proof now to say that
that's what actually happened. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it doesn't help that General Motors had a policy of, hunting down and destroying every single last EV1.
Oh yeah, and the other inventions that they've taken away.
Come up and fall into the wrong hands or whatever. But
that's it.
Also,
destroying competition, isn't it?
Water powered vehicles. So sounds a bit ridiculous, but water fueled vehicles do exist. The most famous is the Stan Meyer dune buggy, which had averaged 100 miles per gallon, and it might have become the most competitive in the market in terms of would have
battered the others.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, if you could just fill up your car with tap water and then drive to work,
that'd be a dream.
Amazing,
man.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But again, it's not a case of it's like the flying car. You could say, well, we've already got road infrastructures. It's more hassle than it's worth trying to get all that in place.
Yeah.
We've got to kind of come up with a system that no one's going to crash into each other.
Well, and there's going to be more cars.
But you can't argue that because, obviously you've got the fact that you've got roads. It doesn't affect any of the infrastructure that's
already
available.
It's all about bumper cars, mate.
It's all about petrol. Yeah. Petrol and money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about money. Everything's about money.
So, the dune buggy sounds pretty cool, to be honest. I'd like to take it for a bit of a ride, but, we just, someone brings it back. Someone stole it, did they?
It disappeared apparently when the owner died.
Right. Okay. Because he was left at his parents' property, I think, and then
he had a brain aneurysm or something. He ran outside. He was...
right. Okay. Well, basically, I think he had partners on this.
Yeah.
But fearing
trying to kill him.
The conspiracy that his partners went underground.
Yeah, because they must have been bought off, and then he's gone to a lunch, and then he's run out and said, they're trying to kill me, and then all of a sudden he's got a brain aneurysm.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's one of them.
Pretty shifty.
Yeah.
So, have you got any more to add? That was my last one, and we're literally running out. We've got about
Thorium.
10 minutes. One.
All right, then thorium, which is 90 on the, what's that scale?
The periodic table.
That's the fella, which is TH, which it could take over uranium, which is much cleaner. It's got much more power in it as well. It can create more power longer. It's got a hell of a lot of benefits. There's more of it. But the reason why they haven't been using it is because it can't be weaponised.
There you go. You could still use that, and then you could still use your uranium for whatever other purposes you need. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
just because it can't be weaponised, it doesn't mean that it's not got no value.
Yeah, because if you can't make money out of it, why are you going to go and deal with it? That's why they want to make sure.
That's true, and this is what it all comes down to. All this suppressed technology as a bit of a conclusion. Yeah. It all comes down to people not making enough money. Or the new thing, basically threatening their current business.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're an oil tycoon and then suddenly somebody says, I don't need petrol anymore because I can power my car by electric or power my car by water.
Yeah.
It's not. That person is being taken out. That engine's being seized.
But I'll tell you what, if that ever happened, do you know what they're going to do? They're going to tax water.
Yeah, of course. You'll have to go and pay £2.50 a litre.
Yeah.
At a petrol station, let's face it, petrol stations already charge you for water. Yeah. Because, if you want to use their hose or, want to wash your car, you've got to buy a token.
£20, please.
There you go. So they're already doing it.
Yeah.
Quick one before we do the wrap up. Light bulbs. Yeah.
Yeah, the Johnson & Johnsons again.
Is it Johnson & Johnson again? Well, basically, Edison obviously invented the light bulb, so they say, but and that's another conspiracy in itself. But generally, when light bulbs were invented, a lot of different companies made them. Yeah, and that was another example of where they've kind of reversed engineered a product to make it more disposable, because there's a light bulb actually in a fire station in the States that's been on for 100 or so years, and they have a birthday celebration for it every year because it keeps going.
Yeah.
And there's a testament to good quality workmanship and the fact that if you make something right, it'll work for a lifetime. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So more. So there you go.
I just can't believe. I just still can't believe that universities have courses to break down engineer stuff so they get destroyed.
Yeah. So you were telling me about that before, weren't you? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want to check shout outs quick time.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. You can send us a question or anything like that, really.
Yeah.
You can hit us up on Twitter at NASA_never. Get us over on what is it? On
Twitter.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
At never straight answer. We're on Dizzy Jam if you want to get a bit of merch.
Yeah.
You can get a hat or a mug or whatever you fancy over there. Reasonable prices. All pretty cool stuff. Christmas is coming up as well. And plus our birthdays are this week. So, you've got to, be nice to us.
Yeah.
So, we're available on all the podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, wherever you get your podcast, you can get us on there. Anything else I'm missing?
No, I think.
What?
No, I think that's it.
Right. Well, in that case, we'll catch you next week. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
You've been listening to Never Straight Answer. Peace
out.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.